Hey everyone, it's Richard Smith again. It's March 2021, the sun is out, the future's looking more hopeful, and I'm back talking again about pensions dashboards. This time, it's a short video case study about digital identity. I always think it's best to explain things with examples, so once again, I'm going to use my own pensions to illustrate the digital ID challenge for pensions dashboards. Right, let's go. Let's start by having a look at how I currently get online access to my pensions. If you saw my previous video, you'll know that in the 90s I worked for Prudential, and most recently I've been working for Parasol. So those are two of my employers, but what pension schemes did they put me in? Well, at Prudential I became a member of the Prudential Staff Pension Scheme, or PSPS as it's known, and Parasol have automatically enrolled me into Nest. You'll know if you saw my previous video that I've actually got 9 pensions spread across my whole career, but that's a lot to go through, so in this video I'm just going to use my PSPS and Nest pensions as examples. Prudential first. Well, in its annual report in 2020, the PSPS trustee showed they had just over 33,000 members in the scheme with defined benefit pensions, and I'm one of the 12,000 or so members with deferred benefits. Some years ago, the trustee decided to give online access to members so they can see those pensions. Now, because I was employed by Prudential, as were all other PSPS members, the PRU had given PSPS my contact details. So this enabled the trustee to send me and all members a welcome pack, inviting me to register online with a unique login ID to My Pension, which is the PSPS's website provided by their administrator, XPS. Just to show you quickly what that looks like, here's the My Pension login screen, and look, it confirms you must use the details provided in your welcome pack. So that's the trustee effectively securely limiting access just to PSPS members who they've written to. And once I've registered and logged in, here's what it looks like. The website knows who I am, welcome Richard, you can see it says, and at the bottom left it shows me that my deferred pension when I left 25 years ago in 1995 was about £1,100 a year. Of course, as you may have seen in my previous video, that amount gets revalued to keep pace with inflation, and in fact it's doubled over the last 25 years and is now something like £2,200 a year. So that's the online access to my Prudential pension, but what about Nest, or the National Employment Savings Trust? Well, that's a much larger scheme in terms of members. I can see from their 2020 annual report that they have over 9 million members. And because I'm between work contracts right now, I'm currently one of their 5.7 million non-contributing members. I'll start contributing again when I start a new work contract. Now, Nest really want people to go online. It's much more efficient for them to work that way. So again, because they know me, because Parasol have given them my contact details, they sent me and all members a welcome pack and a Nest login ID, encouraging me to sign up at their website. There it is, Nest Pensions. Again, just to show you that quickly, here's the first login screen, confirming again that I need to use my unique Nest ID from my welcome pack as a key security mechanism. And then once I'm in, this is the first screen. Nest is a bit funkier than Prudential. They say, "Hi Richard," in big letters, as you can see. And there is my current retirement pot. Now, of course, that's a pot amount and not a pension income amount like my Prudential pension was, but let's not get into all that. That's what the previous video was all about. So, taking stock on the current position today. Today, many pension schemes and providers do offer online access to their members and customers. And when they do this, they are pushing out that service to a community of known individuals. You may very well have been invited to use your own provider's website. If you have been, you and the other individuals are known because in the main, employers have provided contact details. And this has enabled secure online relationships or accounts to be set up by schemes and providers. Now, I haven't just got 2 pensions, as you know, I've got 9. So I have to use 9 different websites with 9 separate login IDs, all with different password rules and requirements. And this, of course, is a key part of the rationale for pensions dashboards. Dashboards, though, represent a fundamentally different way of accessing pensions information online. So having looked at what happens today, let's now take a look into the future and see how I'll access my pensions information via a pensions dashboard. Hopefully you'll recognise this diagram from the Pensions Dashboard programme's introductory video. Watch it if you haven't already, it's great. The core layout is the same as on the left hand side, with people at the top and pension schemes at the bottom. In the middle is the proposed digital architecture for what's being referred to as the Pensions Dashboard's ecosystem. This is the collection of technology components that are going to operate together to make pensions dashboards work. Just to give a quick sense of scale, in the UK, roughly 25 million or so adults of working age have roughly 100 million pension entitlements between them. So roughly, on average, that's about 4 pension entitlements each. Where are those 100 million pension entitlements? Well, they're at the bottom, held by roughly 43,000 pension arrangements, and those are all of the UK's different pension schemes and providers. And it's all of those schemes and providers which must, by law, digitally connect to the ecosystem so that people's pensions can be found. Those numbers are huge and much bigger than any other country which has implemented pensions dashboards. So before we get overwhelmed, let's zoom back in on me as an example. I'm just one of the 25 million people at the top. And if I choose to use pensions dashboards, the first thing I need to do is decide which of the many available dashboards I'm going to use. By doing this, I'm being proactive. I'm not being invited to register as I was on the left. This is why I think of dashboards as a pull service, if you like. That is, an individual using a dashboard is pulling their pension information from their different schemes and providers. But that pull only happens if they do log in to use a dashboard. Once I've given the necessary consents, the pension finder service in the middle will send a find request to all of the 43,000 pension arrangements, asking in essence, have you got a pension for Richard Smith? Now, assuming my personal data matches, which it will because it's been kept up to date, Nest and PSPS will say, yes, we've got a pension for him. But before they release my pension information, how can they actually be sure that this person at the top who's signed in to a pensions dashboard actually is Richard Smith, who is one of their members? They don't know this individual. They didn't invite him to log into their website as they did back in the day on the left-hand side. The answer is the all-important identity service within the central digital architecture. It's this identity service which will prove that I am Richard and thus give a level of confidence to Nest and Prudential and all my other 7 schemes that it's safe to release my pension information for me to view on my chosen pensions dashboard. Let's pause and take stock there. The first key point to understand is that dashboards are a pull service. That means it's the individual who's being proactive in requesting their data to be pulled together, but only when someone uses a dashboard will a find request for their data be sent to all schemes and providers. And secondly, dashboard users won't be known to schemes in the way that they were on the left-hand side of this diagram, but schemes can be sure that it is their member using a dashboard because the central identity service will provide a level of confidence in the individual's digital identity.
This really is at the crux of the whole dashboard's endeavour. What level of confidence will trustees and providers need that a dashboard user is who they say they are for them to be comfortable releasing information for the user to view on their chosen pensions dashboard? Well, the Pensions Dashboards Programme, or PDP, has made some proposals on this, so let's dig a little deeper into the central identity service.
Here's me again, choosing which dashboard I want to use, different one this time, leading to a find request to be sent to all schemes and Nest and Prudential matching the pensions they hold for me. A key middle step, as we've seen, is verification of my identity through the central identity service. But what exactly is the identity service going to do? Well, PDP is going to procure the identity service provider or providers, and they're proposing that this provider or providers must operate the identity service in line with 2 well-established sets of government guidance. These are
Good Practice Guide, or GPG 45, which sets out how to prove a person's identity, and Good Practice Guide 44, which is all about authenticating an existing user when they re-log in to use an online service again. There's quite a lot of detail in GPG 45 and 44, so here I can only really give the merest flavour of what they're all about. GPG 45 focuses on the identity service provider obtaining and assessing various evidence about an individual's identity. Identity service providers should amass that evidence and then assess it from various different perspectives as follows. Firstly, how strong is the evidence of the claimed identity? Then how valid or genuine is the evidence? How extensive is the evidence that the identity has been used over time? And is there evidence that the identity is at risk of identity fraud? And finally, how strongly does the evidence verify that the identity actually belongs to the person who is claiming it? If the evidence scores well against these 5 perspectives, then that gives a good level of confidence that the individual is who they say they are. The second Good Practice Guide, GPG 44, is all about authenticating existing users when they re-log in for second and subsequent visits. The key thing here is having 2 or more different methods of the individual authenticating themselves, known as two-factor authentication, or 2FA. And a very common example of this is requiring the user to input something they know, such as a password, and then a one-time code being texted to their mobile phone, which they're then also required to input to fully authenticate themselves. This is exactly how many government online services work, such as the online Check Your State pension service, which you may well have used. All of this is focused on giving confidence to schemes and providers, in my case Nest and PSPS and all my other 7 schemes, that I am in fact Richard, and it's safe for them to release my pension information back to my chosen pensions dashboard, where I can view it securely, all together in one place.
That's it, a quick case study illustrating the digital identity challenge for pensions dashboards. Today, schemes and providers offer or push out online access to their known membership. But with dashboards, individuals will be coming to all schemes and effectively asking, have you got a pension for me? Thus pulling together all their matched pensions. Schemes can feel confident releasing information because the user's identity will have been proven or authenticated by the central identity service operating in line with government guidelines. Does that all make sense? If not, and you've got any outstanding questions, please do feel free to get in touch via my dashboard blog, dashboardideas.co.uk. Thanks ever so much for watching right to the end once again. And no, Neil can't verify his identity. He's not real. See you soon.